ABC on the second half being in government, having been rocked by several challenges. The ABC vision, which was outlined by Tom Tabane when we came in, part of which was attained. Then the remaining time, there are few of those challenges which we haven't really met. And going forward into the next term after the coming election, we hope to continue where we have left in terms of what we had as a party for Basotho Nations, Mhlala. We had promised that we will reduce elderly age from 70 to 60. Tom Tabane having only managed to reach that one of factory workers, we still feel that also for the party, it's something that we need to continue to pursue for Basotho to get. As well, remember our motto, Serasa Motu Kitlala, that we haven't really got on the right track with the rhythm of really answering the questions, the promises rather that we made to Basotho, and as a result, we have worked on the proper structure that will give us a chance to get back into the villages. Tom Tabane used to have the farming blocks, which in the middle of the time came to a stop. I don't know that I'm sorry, Otlo. I'm in a situation yo ke sa tsebisising hantle ha ke bua ka Tom le Dr. Majoro. Yo most of morethetho wa Tom ela re ha kena ya ba o fetoa hanyane focus e ka re hanyane from grassroots. So I don't want to criticize ye mong wa bona, if you get what I'm saying. So it makes life a little bit difficult, but I think I'll try to talk about ABC post September elections. Hore wish ya rona ke ho tsosolosa ma block re khutlele block farming, where the government assists and make life easy for the farmers. Ho bona hore as we produce baba le steak e le hona ho fedisa tlala. The stock theft, we're already talking with the Prime Minister now, because we wish to see Refika September on something that we have done almost every evening. Radio otlo kwa ho bua ka di phoofolo tse nyametseng ditaba tseno kaofela dire ABC should act now. I shouldn't be saying post September elections will be doing this. In this time that everybody believe is really limited, I believe there is something that we still can do. Riskira Palamisa, the new vision and the mission, Hudima, something that we are supposed to do and be tangible when we go forward and people say, we have seen these guys doing this and now we can be confident Obafa or going forward what they should do. I think that one is not about ABC having a position. It's about the law itself. Her population in Nyulua, and we have over 10,000 population in an area. Literally, there has to be a demarcation. That's what the IEC prescribes. Sorry, immediately about 10,000, you break those constituencies. And it has brought some controversies because stronghold is a Congress, which is in the mountains. They feel we are doing that more in the urban to maximize our chances of having more constituencies. And that's not true. Everybody should just stick to the law as it is. Population ya ditropong ya hola. And rekekira ba le batho tseme ba 35,000 ibe jwale ha re kubele to demarcate hobane jwale IEC law says ibe 10,000. So growth e maseru, and I'm not necessarily maseru in the urbans, forcing hore Molao 1 ube into effect hore who break the constituency. That is why the 4 constituencies are in town. Populations money in the rural they migrate to Maseru. So high so harinere 1,800 as a village. Instead of growing, we know people migrate into urban areas, and as a result, harifile 10,000 acre qobellang hore in the mountains e be le teng ho ba le demarcation tse jwang. There have been attempts to try and empower youth, but it hasn't really been as effective as one would wish it to be. In terms of the project for youth to be involved in projects. As I always say, agriculture, we import so much that we spend over 14 billion the product in the important alone, and that creates mesebetsi into dinaha tse ding tse re fang dijo. Well, we have soil more re ka ra practicang hore re iketsetse dijo ka mefuta yohle ya yona agriculture, and as a result ABC now morethetho wa yona going forward is to try and engage youth in projects that would try to help us remise who import a rekwale madiboho, and we do things from within. We have to get into the Ministry of Finance more when we have Bahwebi who supply to the government take forever to get their pay. That in itself, we have those people at Tsibandate Chakela, yena because he has a connection. Otla supplier today, afumane payment within the reasonable time. Even the rest of the people supplied up to 2014, 2015, 2016 until your business collapse. So we know where the problems are. And as ABC under the new leadership, we have a way in which we are planning to go around that problem, because the only way for Lesotho to succeed is to empower the business people their own, not to rely on foreigners alone. We forget how to neglect our people and their businesses collapse. The new ABC leader, Ndate, we have a dream for this country. We have had changed leadership within this time. We had my former Prime Minister Ndate Tabani, who was the leader of the party, the reign of which defeated Zunghona from him. He left in 2019 Ndate Major. Morethetong wa rona wa mohuo wa rona. Emon Lemong had his own approach, and I'm having my own approach now as we speak. Even if I was given chance now, some people were saying that you can't be in government for 2 weeks, for a month, for 2 months. Much as it puts me in a little predicament position, because I know kahara these 2 months, honale something that we do ka di bus stop tsa rona, where every day batho ba snatchelwa the phone and they get killed and nobody gets arrested. Tona le di crime tse kgolo tseo every day ka hara drop of people die, but they don't see justice e etswa ditabeng tse jwalo. The development partners di consent haholo ka ditaba tsa crime, human trafficking. Re la ra thuswa mona ke FBI America, ba fihla ba fuputsa ba fumana ditaba di totobetse. Unfortunately, they are involved arona the politicians, and somehow I think that is the reason why o sa boneng ho nkwa action ka ditaba tse totobetseng concerning tsona taba tseno tsa crime, because tse ding ke di high profile. I think hauna nnete e fetang eno. And in the next round, when we get back into government after September, we really have to prioritize education. As I was looking back, since 2012, we haven't really giving ourselves as a party monyetla wa ho rana education. And before it's too late, before I find a message or wrong about ABC and education, I think it is time now that we have to reclaim education. Where the ministry. If you could remember, 2012 was Bomema Musutwana, and 2017 by AD. Oftentimes in our coalitions, education high be horon, and having realized to run the coalition di run wrong, we are more like two governments in one, in the sense that you really don't have so much control because the leader at the party you companies in land. There is a little line drawn, thin as it is. Responsibility more who takes charge and 2 weeks back I was in the mountains trying to tell people about ABC. We're on horseback for 7.5 hours to 8 hours. A village where class 1 to standard 7 there are no doors, there are no windows. They literally sit on the stones. Minister education. It says generally Lesotho, education is about badi tropo, because they will tell you, those guys while you are sitting down with them, daddy, 1 hour ya 6 years at the class is not able to walk for 5 hours to class ka age kalo. But class about 12 to 15. More saying a sustain at the long distances. Kana ko interest ya high mono is a lahle because boholobana kona disa elending to the haufinyane ho yena. And relahle ke batho bana le potential at the future, because officer mono just to learn ho ngola le ho bala, then they drop out. Because about class 2 and 3 and 4 those are the challenges. So really naha having had independence for almost 55 years, and I think we are really not serious about it. It's a focus that we have to reclaim. Guys, how relevant is what we have now to Miami? Because as I say, we will have so many graduates, but boholo mosebetsi hai. Why? Because generally ma teacher a occupying dikolo ba bileng kana ba they are enough. Then hona le batho ba ntseng ba tswela pele ho etsa education. The country doesn't really say hore na ke nako ye kae re reng ho to retire this number of people. As a result, they refer batho ba bakana education, so that replacement hire frustrate what they have to do, if you get what I'm saying. My teacher ona ano o tlo fumana hore motho re ke batla ho batla loan ke reke koloi kapo ke batla loan ke lo haha o fila TSD motho nga close to 9 months asa fumane pay slip because hote ha ona stationary. You get retired today, o get ho 7 na haya he no le 60 65 o global so also fumane packages out the retirement. So how so surely they will tell you hore in let's how in setsa bana ba hao di wela ka government thing. Ditaba tseno kaofela about our education system, dire we have neglected it, and we've got to make a move o serious o re bontshang hore as a country re fumane bophelo education, and we have to shape it in such a way that e arabela diqholotso tsa hona jwang. To a certain extent, I would say yes, and that is promoted by the same fact I mentioned earlier, that as a country, we don't have that eye of promoting our locals. We believe something is good when it's done by a foreigner. That is why hamotwarona ain't supply. We end up refaila homopatala, abe a collapse, even about 10 years later. To grow so that we have trust and confidence where our culture needs who are committed and dedicated. We have Basotho that how Mufa Mosebetsi o tlo tla a etsa mosebetsi o phoqang o hlokang hore tomorrow somebody atle hape, and they irritates because o tlo fumana hore it's a pattern generally e se kametse ka Basothong. Like I'm saying, it has more to do with culture and discipline. Ikemele fela shopong ya le China, ha bona queue ya batho ba 20 ba tlo reka, he or she makes sure hore o clear that queue. But kena ka shopong ya Mosotho randomly anywhere, o ka khutla ka mono sa reka a itshebetse fono a tla o attenda na kwa uncomfortable. It's more like we really don't understand as a country the discipline tsa hore na what is business le hore na how we should go about it. So it's a combination ya hore approach ya ba bang ba Basotho prompts or propel hore re tetele re optela ho sebedisa batho ba bang. The ABC position has been clear, and it's still clear. Hore justice e tlameha hore e fumanwe, ba hloketse ntoka ba fuwe justice. And amnesty ka culture ya rona, we feel it's more lenient and doesn't serve the purpose. It's more like we feel like revenging. And for us, the only way to revenge, if I may put it like that, ke through hore batho ba makgotleng ba thewele ka mane ba serve the sentence. There could be ditsela tse ding that we could use to try hore re nanabetsane le tsona. Dipolotiki tsa Lesotho ha o ka di shebisisa hantle since 1993 di na le bogoponyana ka hare. Bo ka nako nngwe motho tla sitwa ho ntsha maikutlo publicly foramong tse kang tsena. But suppose ngwana wa ka wa bolawa kapa ngwana weso wa bolawa, sometimes I can feel the best compensation e ka isang amnesty ya hore ke tetelle ke tshwaretswe kapa ke tshwaretse motho ko ra fihla re go beela 5 million mona kapa 10 million and see hore bana ba hola, because culture yeno ya hore fela no re tshwere Kabi o dutse ka trongo ngwa hlotse 15 years, it doesn't really complete cycle yeno ya hore ere e nkgotsofaditse, because Kabi o bolaile a certain husband, a certain father, a neng a phedisa bana. Kabi is arrested for 15 years, but at the end of the day, lapa lena le a suffer. And if we say that ke teteletse ke bolaya motho ya itseng hobane dipolotiki ngana o bua ka ona le upper hand home feta while we are re kopanetse government, and I felt hore le nna he wouldn't be the government in ntle, as a result re tlama ho shebisana, and se ka ke motho ya tjhakileng fela, as a result ke teteletse ke etsa dintho tse tjena. And re between jail ha o ka ke yona tshwarelano le ho kgotsofala le hore no, give these guys compensation ya 10 million e sufang haholo ke fe. It's very sensitive, it's very delicate, it's not something that you can come up with so go fela batho ba iso ha re ke re tshwarelaneng ha re shebeng the option, because ho Basotho sorry, culturally somebody's got to go to jail hore re feel hore re khotsofetse kapa re fodile, whereas I wouldn't look at it like that. But the tshwarelano e bohlokwa. Look at Rwanda where it is. You get married to somebody e ntate moholo ha ya langa bolaya village ya rona kaofela. Approach yeno ya Rwanda e etsa hore re heale in that the same family that ileng ya bolaya my entire village. Kiena now let's rebuild the peace, re qala afresh going forward, ba fuwa mokgwa ho qala bophelo. It heals because ha o sa moshaba le mane o se a le ho wena, let's rebuild the country together. It's a different approach ya batho ba ileng ho shwa close to 1 million people, but ba stable hona jwale ba economy ya bona e holang. Rona re phela ka crash nyana ya hore hai ntate o bolaile ba haeso, he has to go to jail. Re dutse mono fela as if ha hona di option tse ding. And like I'm saying, mpe 2 million, mpe 5 million, mpe 10 million, ke etse bana ba ka life ha e tlotisa bophelo ba ntate wa bona ka fo ya mme wa bona back, but it's going to make life different. Ba feel ba le welcome ka hara society, ba phela ka mokgo ba ka ba wishang kapo in a way kapo more better than tsela yo ne ba tla phela ha motswadi wa bona a shuleng a le siko, because taking somebody to jail ke le hlakoreleng la molao, but it doesn't really answer the challenge, especially because the government tsa rona di neglect batho It's not like ha go ikata ho ya tronkong batho ba ne be re ba senyeditseng ka be re ba khabathileng ka puo tse tlwaelehileng life ya bona e tla ba better e kokobeditse fela hore yes justice iphethuwe, but there could be other ways re ka gatameletsanang ka tsona because ihlile Basotho ba sentswe ke dipolotiki tsa rona. Apparently tse bileng di bona like ha di ready hore di ke di focus. We get elected really the political party into government to change maphelo a Basotho, and now it pains me ke eteletse ABC pele ka kgwedi le beke tse pedi every day I bula la radio ebe hona le phofolo tse nyametse. We have the police, and the same police ba bile ba ka hare ho makala a rona a ranwa ke rona. You go to local government, somebody uri ngwana ka hloka ho patala exam fee hona jwale before March fair, and ke na le di hamole ke tsena that when I sell I will be able to raise that exam fee, but how fihla mane moreneng ha ona dipampiri tse bitswang ba base that you will never sell your animal without. Then you go like hana ba base of monoka local government. Who is in local government? Is it something that has to wait for September, that small thing to happen? And now I'm the leader of the party, a month in the office. We have the prime minister of the same party. Now, hanang hore o more yani the two centers of power. So sometimes as a law I really don't know. I will handle because like I'm saying, in a week, in 2 weeks, in a month, I have a feeling small things like who erected the tents. Somebody back at the horror of my shoot, listen to Mona, Ditamangozo, had 55. How is our set up a moon? Gadi Hetungin Bushudu Bustopil, and you will never hear and train radio, you will never. I was in office in November, Kefana Kachelete, Yaboya, Egif Manangiliting. Is about 2018. Kidi voters batuba. When you pay it, Udula Fasil Central Bank go okay, January repatal around out there. When you get out of office December, January high feature nobody cares to pursue hore. Skolo to Sabasutu Saboyas at 2019 is a fair. Small things that you can do in a week, like I did feature. There was no magic that I used. Kita fella who feel hore. Things that have to be done, they should be done. And had decided in March, January, patala, boya. That noise I hlaka junior lona, and you know it's very small in trade. Agriculture every time it will be a crisis. Are there plans in hand now? September to distribute fertilizer and people back alone. We are still going to face the same situation. If somebody has now hotel, but real elections and fertilizer. Yes, it makes life a little bit difficult for me. When I have to respond to them because now I'm here leading the party, a running government, somebody else. You rhythm high somehow. Because I was not in a Greek before. Nobody cared to pay boya. I don't know how they understood it. Kitswile a Greek, rightfully so, as the prime minister now dictator. But Renale Skoloto Sabasotu, we have to vote for us. Nobody cared to sort it out. To me, as a leader of a party, I would have responded to them as we speak. And when people say no, that there is nothing you can do, no, it's fine. I know Lesotho, everybody's an analyst. Everybody knows, and they will say no, that this is just a dream, things like those.